Today we're taking a look at the MP Concepts Performance Pack style rear spoiler in gloss black, designed to fit the 2015 to 2023 Mustang Fastback. If you're aiming to give your Mustang a more aggressive, track-inspired appearance, reminiscent of the factory Performance Pack models, this spoiler is an excellent choice. It's perfect for enthusiasts who want to enhance their Mustang's aesthetics and aerodynamics without the hefty price tag of the OEM part. This rear spoiler brings the bold design of the Performance Pack to your Mustang, and it instantly elevates its appearance. The spoiler design not only adds a sporty flair, but also helps maximize aerodynamics by increasing that downforce just a little bit at the higher speeds, improving stability and handling. This nice gloss black finish is going to give it a slick, high-end look that complements any Mustang color. It's a great way to make your car stand out on the street or on the track on those track days, without going too overboard with the mods. I do want to note that if your Mustang came equipped with a factory spoiler, the original holes will be exposed and you need to fill those up, and some drilling is going to be required for the installation, and the drilling location templates are included to ensure proper placement. Constructed from durable, lightweight ABS plastic, this spoiler is built to withstand the elements and resist wear over time. The material is known for its strength and impact resistance, ensuring it's not going to chip or crack like the fiberglass alternatives. This gloss black finish not only adds a stylish touch, but also adds an extra layer of protection against UV rays and any road debris you might encounter. Now, as far as pricing goes, this spoiler comes in right in that low to mid $200 price range. That's going to be a competitive price point for a spoiler that offers both aesthetic appeal and functional aerodynamic benefits, especially when you compare it to the OEM alternative. Installation is nice and straightforward, but it requires a little bit of precision, so we're going to rate this one a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in just 2 hours of your time. I just want to note again that if your Mustang came equipped with a factory spoiler, the original holes won't be exposed and you'll need to fill those up with a little bit of body work, but let's see exactly how this goes on with an install video from one of our American Muscle customers.
Alright, so we're going to talk about the tools that we're going to use. Alright, you're going to need a socket with a 10mm deep socket, a Phillips head screwdriver, needle nose pliers, some painter's tape, a nylon pry bar. You can use 2 different bars, but you want the pry part and you also want the blade. I like to use this eraser tool, and you'll see how easy it is going to be when we take the adhesive off. You're gonna need a hair dryer, some adhesive remover, 1 towel for the cleanup, and 1 towel that you don't mind throwing away because it's gonna get a lot of adhesive on there, and some isopropyl alcohol solution. If you're using 70% isopropyl alcohol, you're gonna do 1 part alcohol to 3 parts distilled water. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this spoiler off. So we're going to pop the trunk open, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So there's 2 plugs right here and 2 unscrewable plugs. You're just going to take those off. You're just going to take it off by hand. It's very, very simple. And you can leave everything in the trunk. You're going to unscrew this bad boy. There we go. And same thing for this side. And you can take the plastic latch cover off, and you can use this little pry tool. You just want to get under the middle part right here, and it usually just kind of pops off like that. Then you're going to take the trunk release and just tuck it in right there. Now we're going to take another pry tool and just going to pop all these little plastic little rivets off. There should be 9 of them. They're pretty good at just kind of popping off. Might have to twist just a little bit here and there. Let me get on this side, get these off. Just 2 more on the top right here. And the final one. Then you're gonna tuck this trunk release right over here, and just, oops, I missed one actually right here. Alright, then you can let this, alright, so we have a little bit of access right here to all the bolts that we need to undo. So you can take a 10mm socket, and I put on like a little bit of an extension bar. This is a little bit easier to work with. So what you want to do is you want to loosen it first. This one, I'll have to take the extension off because it's a little bit tighter of a squeeze. Let's see, it's ready. Yeah, there we go. And you can do the rest by hand. That way you'll drop it or lose it. And all four of these bolts are completely the same. So you don't have to map where you put them, where you put them. Go and bring your trunk back down, close it up. I like to use a little painter's tape just because it doesn't scratch your paint and it's really, really easy to get off. And just do one on the other side as well. Just like so. And then you're going to take a hair dryer or a heat gun and you're going to aim it in this general area just to soften that double-sided adhesive that came from the factory. And this hairdryer is on loan from my wife. So you're just going to heat this general area where the adhesive is, and then you use the flat blade end of your nylon pry tool to kind of pry it up and kind of poke through some of that adhesive. That part is done. Then I recommend kind of work on the other side, so you kind of want to meet in the middle a little bit. Voila! And that is pretty much it. Now once you peel the tape back, you'll see. And I'm going to move the camera here in just a second. There is a lot of this double-sided sticky tape that needs to come off. Now you can either do an adhesive remover and get it off by hand. That might take a long time, but I prefer to do the eraser tool, and I'll break that out right now. Now when it comes to the eraser tool, it states on there that it cannot go above 4,000 RPM. So if you have a drill, just make sure it's on the lowest setting, and you're just gonna work the adhesive. It is safe for your paint. Just be very light. Yeah, it's coming off. It's gonna take a little bit of time. All right, let's go to the other side. All right, so now we're gonna wipe away all the big chunks, and then we're gonna work on getting all this off with some adhesive remover. All right, not too bad. We got most of it off with the eraser tool. A little pad fell off, and it's gonna go right there, and that's fine. We'll put that back on in just a second. So gonna just soak this stuff. Soak all the adhesive with the remover. Make sure it's nice and soaked. And we're gonna put just a little bit of elbow grease to get all that off. And it might take a little bit of time, but that's all right. All right, now that I have about, I'd say about 90% off, I'm gonna let it soak for a little bit longer, maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. And I'm gonna come back and we're gonna take the rest of this stuff off. So first thing you gotta do is you're gonna tape the screws onto your actual Phillips head screwdriver. And these are hex bolts, but they have a Phillips head. And this kind of lets you guide the screw in, because it does have a little bit of a way to travel. And there's only one way it fits, which is like that right there. And I'm gonna see if I can get it in there. Relatively easy. There we go. All right, that one in there. So let's get the other three bolts on. You don't have to do this, but if you grew up old school, changing tires, I like to do opposite ends. So we'll get this side. Alright, once again, put a little tape on there. I mean, just enough to hold it. You don't really need to put too many layers on there. So I did it across, and I'm going to go back over here if I can get the angle in there. This is one of those projects, not a good idea to use any kind of power tools. You don't want anything to crack. You just want to hand tighten everything and it'll be completely sturdy. And last bolt for the center pedestal. This one is a little bit harder to see, but man, I think I got it on the first shot. All right, you're gonna move on to the right-handed, or the right side little pedestal mount right here. It might actually help if I had the right one. That's probably gonna fit better. All right, so we're just gonna install these screws. So I don't wanna be fumbling with this out there. Put the center screw in. All right, no wiggle, just flex. That's fine, it is plastic. Boom. Now let's move to the other side. There you go. You can take your needle nose and you're just gonna take these little covers off. There should be a total of 7, 3 in the middle and 2 on each side. All right, and the last part of this, there's a white backing and a red backing. The red backing is gonna go on your trunk. The white backing is gonna go on here, so you gotta make sure it's the right, it fits perfectly. I'm gonna leave that on a little bit light. I don't want to mash on just yet, that way I can have I'm gonna leave that part up just for right now. Let's move on to this side. And we're essentially gonna do the same thing. All right, so I'm just gonna leave that corner up right there with the backing on. Here we go. Pop that off and feed it through just like that. Kind of smooth it out. Just kind of make sure it's tucked into this little border right here. That way it fits completely perfect. And that looks pretty good right there. And we'll do the final side and take that backing off. And we want to make 100% sure that it sets in this little lip right here and right here. All right, the next step is to go put it on the car and we're gonna bolt it down and that should be the end of this project. All right, so I have my wife out here. She's gonna help me out. Just gently flip it over and I'm gonna make sure if you have any adhesive top. So you go ahead and put it in your slots first. All right, you good? Mm-hmm. All right, the cool thing is you gotta stretch it just a little bit. That means you have a good fit. And actually put some pressure down here. Get that adhesive going. Put some pressure down here. Pressure right there. That's all right. These projects tend to be a little bit more fun if you do them yourself. All right, and just kind of tighten this by hand for a little bit. Luckily, I didn't hit any paint. These 2 bolts are a little hard to get to, a little cramped, that's all right. Do this one right here. And the final bolts, I'm going to do by hand first a little bit. It's on there pretty tight. Now we'll go back to what I was doing. Go and put the trunk release right through this little slot right here. And screw in these little rubber screws. Don't have to be super tight or anything. That'll get it stabilized so we can put these push pins in. Then put your little grommet back in. And you one on each side. Push pins in and pop them back in. And the final part is putting this cover back on. And that is it.
All right, that's gonna wrap up our review and install of the MP Concepts Performance Pack Style Rear Spoiler in Gloss Black for the 2015 to 2023 Mustang Fastback. And for all things Mustang, keep it right here at American Muscle.